I'm Captain Marcy Kewen of the Port Huron Police Department, and I oversee the use of force incidences and also the vehicle pursuits. Use of force is anything the officers do over mere handcuffing. We use force because we're trying to effect an arrest, we're trying to save a subject from hurting themselves or hurting other people, or we're trying to defend ourselves, or even to prevent a violent felony. We had about 1,500 arrests in 2018, and of that 1,500 and some, 67 times we had to use force. Out of those 67 incidences, we used the force, like the lowest amount of force we can use. 97% of the time, we just muscled the person. We have access to pepper spray and tasers, our service weapon, batons, and even canines if we need it. And of those times, we're most of the time just muscling arms and trying to get them behind people's backs for handcuffing. Out of the 67 times that we did use force, we fortunately did not have to use deadly force in 2018. Almost every incident where we did use force, the person was under the influence of alcohol or drugs or mental illness. Out of the countless contacts we do have with citizens in our city and really nationwide, officers use a very low amount of force. Most of the contacts we have are positive. Another responsibility I have as captain is reviewing the vehicle pursuits and how they're handled by the officers on the road. We had 10 vehicle pursuits in 2018 compared to 7 in 2017, so we were up a couple. Out of the 10 pursuits we had, half were drunk or drugged drivers. Another 3 or 4 of them were wanted criminals. One of them had a stolen gun in the vehicle. One of them was actually a stolen motorcycle, which is why they didn't stop. About half of those pursuits were over in less than a minute, and we had one that lasted around the 5-minute range, but typically they're shorter in duration, and on average lasted about 1.8 miles. We had an unfortunate incident last year where our officers saw a speeding vehicle, they turned around on it, and just as they're trying to put on their top lights, their sirens, and call it in, which is part of our policy, the vehicle had already sped off and crashed into an innocent bystander and killing them.
17 vehicle crash. It's going to be a PI accident, rollover.
35-year-old Teresa Marie Gafkin is formally charged with second-degree murder. Prosecutors say she caused a deadly crash back on April 11th at 24th and Dove Streets in Port Huron. Video from the scene shows her trying to get away from police in a Chevy Camaro.
Vehicle pursuits are dangerous. I mean, we don't want to be involved in them, but we have to balance that with the safety of the community and everyone involved.